Solo ads for action takers. Introduction. Solo ads are designed to basically promote a single ad to the subscribing list. These solo ads are often sent to all sources connected to the original feed, with or without the recipient's consent, and can help bring you traffic. Solo ad basics. Many advertisers consider this style of ads to be more engaging and focused when compared to other styles. The effectiveness of the solo ads, if well designed, is said to be able to hold the recipient's attention better than being bombarded with a variety of combined ads all at once. However, the downside is that not all recipients are interested or keen on receiving such ads, and can even find it quite annoying as it is almost always unsolicited. As the solo ads depend solely on the content and design, careful consideration should be given as to the best taglines and artworks that are going to eventually be part of the solo ad launched. Several content styles should be drawn up before a suitable one is picked to depict a particular product or theme. This is what eventually contributes to the opportunities and financial success of the product or service being advertised on the solo ad platform. The solo ads are predominantly used as a tool to create leads and encourage viewers to visit an intended website in order to gain more insight to the object of the solo ad. Thus, the selling aspect of the whole exercise should be done at the website level, whereby the ad is only used as an instrument to draw the traffic. The solo ads are also designed to create a sense of urgency when it comes to ensuring the desired revenue levels are met. Encouraging the visitors to take immediate action would be the general intention of the solo ads. The benefits of solo ads. As business owners who are interested in using the internet to increase the traffic and revenue to their sites online, using the solo ads tool can be both effective and beneficial. As the solo ad is generally sent to a large number of people through a short text ad using the email channels, the relevancy and focal point of the product is immediately divulged to the recipient. This is beneficial for those who really are pressed for time, and also for those with shorter attention spans. Another benefit of the solo ads tool would be that the business owners have several options available when it comes to choosing an appropriately huge audience platform, and these can include Yahoo, MSN, or Google. The benefits also include the convenience of not having to submit the ads oneself. The solo ads are designed and then sent to the commissioning partners who take care of the listings themselves, which also contributes to the benefit of time saving. This time saving element can then be channeled toward enhancing the business growth further. Because the platforms used for launching the solo ads are unimaginably huge, the audience reached is definitely far more than any other tool available on the internet. However, this does depend on the solo ads itself and its attracting capabilities, which should ideally bring about the benefit of encouraging viewers to make a purchase. The benefit of ensuring links is created and used widely is the factor that is going to direct traffic to the individual site. This then will also create the interest of search engines, which are constantly ranking sites posted. Besides reaching the intended target groups, these solo ads will also be visible on the group websites of those linked to the recipient mailing lists. How to use solo ads correctly. Seemingly a lesser-known form of generating revenue, the solo ads tool is fast gaining popularity for its effectiveness. However, in order to effectively use this, the solo ads must be positioned well. The general focus of the solo ads tool is in its ability to attract the attention of the viewer without any other distractions. This is because of the designing features that allows for the solo ad to be a standalone style, which is sent to the emails of individuals who have been specifically chosen to be on the recipient's list. Touted as being the most effective method of getting the viewer's attention, without any distraction, the solo ad can be effectively used to invite the recipient to visit the site for further inquiries. In order to ensure the effectiveness of this tool, there is a need to focus the advertising campaigns on those who are directly related to or interested in the product or service being promoted. Failing to consider this would only cause the exercise to be wasted, as the probability of encouraging interest where there is none is hardly worth the effort or time. For further effectiveness, the solo ads should be full of value incentives to the viewer, as this would then work as an effective way of getting the viewer to visit the actual site to make further inquiries or even convert it into a sale. Tracking the results by monitoring the many clicks garnered and also the possible leads is paramount in gauging the sales the solo ad campaigns generates. This is an effective way of helping to monitor the results and further provide feedback as to the effectiveness of the design or content used when follow-up campaigns are being drawn up. This, in turn, would help to ensure the relevant improvements are made for any follow-up solo ads. Making money with solo ads. In the process of using solo ads for any business launch purpose, there is the potential to make money out of the exercise besides the obvious of garnering sales. The cash leads are built, and there is a comfortable amount of emails on a niche catering target list. Then the individual can start the trading and ad swapping process. This would then bring about the scenario where the original list has now grown enormously, thus bringing in the desired traffic, which can also be converted into sales. In order to ensure there are interested visits to the site, which can be converted into revenue, the solo ads must include one-time offers or other kinds of limited offers. This creates the opportunity for the visitor to capitalize on the offer and make an immediate purchase. Because the solo ads ensure the viewer's attention is totally focused on the ad in question, that there is a higher possibility the user will make a purchase rather than browse any further. Using the solo ads to create a heightened awareness of the company or individual's brand is also another way to effectively make money of this tool. The professional image created with this kind of exposure will also be another way to increase sales and drive traffic to the site. With the first contact already established with the use of the solo ad, the user can then revisit the recipients to encourage a sale or to even create a dialogue to address any probable concerns the potential customer may have, and thus resulting in a positive sale. If done with tact and without unnecessary intrusion, the percentages of actually closing a sale eventually are quite high. Evidence has shown that at the very least revenue is earned at the click stage, which in itself could be substantial. Building your list with solo ads. Solo ads in targeted newsletters likewise work, and they work really effectively if you target the correctly. E-zines targeting an e-zine where you would like to put your advertisement would be the first and most crucial step towards producing an effective campaign. Picking out the e-zine where your ad will be placed means a little research into the ones usable in your business sort. Check into the ones that tell you they want your advertising business. However, don't stop there. If you wish the best bang for your buck, research a bit deeper. Join a lot of them and discover if the material is fresh and the list is active with responsive members to fresh content. Pick out a bigger list instead of one which has fewer members and one that's geared towards your sort of advertisement. This looks like it would be common sense, but actually it isn't. I've personally witnessed solo ads for Christian books on pagan metaphysical lists. While it may be an amusing prank in somebody's world, a few of them really seem to believe they were going to sell the books there. Make certain the ad you place is effective in depicting your business or service. Compose it, or if you can't, have it penned in such a way that it has a good title and will read like a story to anybody who's reading it. Keywords strung together appear to be the trend of the day. Non-meaningful sentences aren't going to catch and hold somebody's attention. Don't get caught up in the movement. If your article or story reads like 20 keywords being squeezed into a sentence for effect, individuals will notice and react accordingly. That's to say, they'll skim right past the ad that makes no sense and move to one that does. Tell them how you got involved in net selling, how you learned marketing skills, and went from a nobody to somebody who's now consulted for bigger sites and companies. Build up their interest in what you have to say in the opening sentence, and then hold it with your material. The most beneficial advertising you may write likely doesn't have a key word in it, or won't sell any of the items you're selling. It will, all the same, make individuals wish to talk with you more about your product and learn what you understand about selling. Make them click on that link, and when they do, take them to a particular portion of your site instead of the proper site. Utilizing whatever technology you have to provide, make them feel welcomed first of all. It's sort of like inviting a neighbor in for coffee. Make them feel comfortable and at home. If you succeed at this, you've a new acquaintance. If you hit them with a pitch shot to donate to your latest charity every time they enter your house, it won't take them long to not wish to visit. If, alternatively, you provide them a cup of coffee and a reasonable conversation, they tend to remain longer and talk more. What to watch out for. In order to ensure some level of success with the use of solo ads as a marketing tool, there should be consideration given to certain areas. One of which is to avoid misleading the viewers, who are potential customers, with deceiving advertisement contents. This will not only create a feeling of mistrust, but will also factor into the any other information the site may put out in future. Avoid gimmicky attention, grabbing subject lines that don't really tell the viewer what the solo ad is all about. If the title is unappealing and ambiguous, then the probability of the viewer taking the next step to viewing the whole ad or visiting the site linked is definitely lower. Also avoid the copy and paste method of designing the solo ad. It does not portray the user in a good light and also does not contribute in any way to ensuring the viewer will be encouraged to visit the site. Also, the copy and paste method being used without first checking the relevance of the content is rather foolish and should definitely be avoided. Avoid poorly designed content and grammatical mistakes, as this would affect the credibility of the user. Do some research to learn some of the words that should be avoided in the solo ad. This is mainly because the certain words, when detected and categorized as spam, will cause the solo ad to be blocked and thus rendered useless. In most cases, the publishers do not have the time to assist in this matter, so avoid leaving this task to someone else. Hopefully, this book has given you a good starting point to begin with solo ads. One final thought is this: avoid randomly choosing a publisher for the solo ads, keeping in mind the importance of the connection between the solo ad, the viewer, and the final possible revenue earned. Choosing the appropriate publisher with a proven track record is wise. Use all this info to get going today. Driving traffic to your website with solo ads. Solo ads are one of the most effective methods for driving traffic to your website. However, there are many internet marketers out there who don't utilize them. I think part of the reason for that is the fact that they have the false belief that it is difficult and expensive to get started with them. It really isn't, though. In fact, It is also one of the simplest forms of advertising. Let's take a little look, shall we? So, what are solo adverts? Well, as you may know, one of the best forms of internet marketing out there is email lists. You should constantly be trying to build up your email list. Now, when you take a solo advert out, you are going to be placing an advert on the mailing list of somebody, preferably in the same niche that you operate. This advert will then send target traffic to your website. If you want your solo adverts to be effective, then you are going to want to track down a list owner who operates in your niche. After all, there is no sense promoting a money-saving website to people who have signed up to an email list about weight loss is there. If you do not select the right mailing list, then you will be paying out money for absolutely nothing. There are plenty of websites out there dedicated to selling solo adverts on various mailing lists. I suggest that you get started with these websites. There may not be a huge selection of people to choose from, and the price may be slightly higher than going directly to people. But I promise you, it is going to be much safer. This is because the lists that these people are sending emails out to would have been vetted for quality. You don't want your website associated with spam, do you? Once you start to learn the ins and outs of solo adverts and driving traffic to your website, you can go on the hunt for new mailing lists to purchase adverts on. I am sure that there are plenty out there, and a quick Google search should provide you with all of the information that you need. When you are offering money for an advert in their mailings, then think about how much you want to pay. Don't forget to get proof of their mailing list size and even what their open rate is. This is going to determine how much you want to pay for a placement. Solo ads for a fast response. Solo ads will bring you traffic fast, almost instantly. They are a good starting point for beginners as they are simple to set up. You must buy them from a reliable source, which I will give you suggestions for later. Let me get straight to the point and tell you a simple truth overlooked by the largest part of the ezine advertisers. If you want to make money right now, on the spot, you'll never ever get the most out of your solo ads. In plain English, every time you sell something in your adverts, you leave money on the table, which means that you lose money. Everyone needs traffic, and although free or organic traffic is great, it takes a while to build, as it is like word-of-mouth recommendations in traditional business. Solo ads, on the other hand, take a few minutes to set up and can bring inquiries that day. It is best to run solo ads in conjunction with a free gift rather than an item to purchase. Build your list of prospective customers, which you then send email offers to as part of an email marketing campaign. Don't expect to sell to them immediately. Gain their trust with great value-free offers. You can then introduce them to other products in your niche again and again and build a sales funnel. Repeated sales are where you make your money if you always treat your list fairly and have great offers. When you are looking for a solo ad supplier, you have to be careful and choose someone from a monitored website or from Facebook groups where members monitor the results, or forums work in a similar way. Otherwise, you can be conned by what seems a fantastic offer price, but in fact, you are buying a list of useless names. If you purchase from a dedicated website where the sellers are vetted and people comment on their results, you should be successful. Even so, purchase small quantities of 50 or 100 clicks to test a seller and your offer. When you purchase the clicks, the seller sends out your offer email to his list of prospective buyers until you get the purchased quantity of people clicking on your website. Obviously, it also depends on what your gift is. It has to be really appealing, or people won't bother signing up to your list. It should be so good that people feel if this is a free offer, how good your products for sale must be. Usually when you buy solo ads, you purchase clicks, visits to your website. Sometimes you are offered a number of opt-ins signatures to a list, which means viewers are joining your list for your later offers. The solo ad sellers have huge lists that they grow daily. When you purchase from them, you prepare a suitable email, and the seller emails a portion of his list according to the number you have purchased.